The day that my first daughter was born, the key to the store got locked in the door. I literally had to come back, stay here until 4 in the morning. I realized one thing. Most people think small businesses fail because the idea isn't good enough. But after 10 years running my own business, I've realized something different. Most small businesses fail really comes down to three reasons. Let's begin with the first one, is that the refusal to pivot, to change, to adapt. This is something that I can really speak to from personal experience. Change has been a constant theme. What my idea was when we first started to what it is now is completely and utterly different. Let me break that down for you. So in 2012, I left my job as a lawyer with my wife and we decided to start a concept called Frozen Fruit Co. back in the UK. We slowly scaled that up. We had our own production unit and we started selling to stores. But we soon realized that market wasn't really right for what we wanted to do. We thought our market was better overseas. So change number one, we sold everything we owned. We closed the business there and we moved over to the States, to Los Angeles to start Frozen Fruit Co. here. I'd never even been to the States before. We had to get a visa, we had to find a location. It was not an easy process, took well over a year for us to do. But that was the first change. And when we came over, we decided to change the format we were doing it in. Pinkberry was the big thing at the time. They were doing soft serve, so we thought we'll do soft serve despite us never having done soft serve before. So change number two, we did soft serve. 3 years later, soft serve wasn't for us. So pivot number two was we went and we changed back to scooping. Change number three was that we focused more on flavors. So at the beginning, we were super strict on type of flavors we want to do. We were called Frozen Fruit Co. So we just made fruit-based flavors. But we learned over time that what people want is actually healthier takes or clean ingredient takes on traditional ice cream flavors. So we started to move away from the more fruitier, purely based things and trying to create creamier alternatives to ice cream. We still keep to our philosophy, but how we experiment and what we do with flavors has changed. So that was change number three. Change number four. This year, 2026, we changed our name. We stopped being Frozen Fruit Co. We changed to Big Love, which is what the ice cream store is to now. That was a huge change. No way was it an easy process. It took a long time. We tried to keep the costs down. We also wanted to kind of minimize the impact that it would have on customers. But that's something we had to change as well. And change number five is embracing the AI, the digital revolution in our business. Literally, as a small business owner, there's so many AI tools out there. And I think it was something we were quite hesitant to use. It helped us come up with new concepts like our Ice Cream Wednesday. It helped us to understand what our product offering is, our menu board. So it really is an important part of your business. If you're not using it yet, you should be. 5 huge changes. So the business, how it looked back when we were doing it in the UK to here, now completely different. The reality is your business needs to adapt and change constantly. The great thing about being a small business is that if something's not working, you can change it super quick. There's not much bureaucracy. You're not in a big organization. You can change it quickly. One of the concepts I absolutely adore is this concept called Kaizen, which means constant continuous improvement. It's about small incremental changes in your business. It doesn't always have to be these huge, big changes like changing your brand or moving countries. It can just be small changes. Number two, the reality number two that people don't accept is how much work goes into a small business. I have one thought, it takes up a lot of my time. It is way more hard work than you. Day-to-day operations will take up a lot of your time, especially in the food and beverage industry. You're on call 24 hours a day. You are the last stop for your business. There is so many times where I've had to drop stuff and come back in. We've had smoke, we've had a fire in here, but we've had earthquakes, we've had fires around the areas, we've had AC stop working. It is just constant. Business is a lot of hard work. And sometimes I do miss that idea of just being back in a job where you can just focus on one small role or one aspect and just be really good at that. And that is your role and that is your job. You just have to accept that when you own a business, you're going to have to wear many hats and you're in charge of everything. The buck stops with you. And sometimes that can be a little bit overwhelming. I think that's the part people really don't realize. I think the reason most small businesses fail is because it just gets too much for people. The last one might actually be the most common issue, and that is small businesses don't understand their numbers. A lot of small business owners don't look at their numbers until tax time or until the end of the month. And that is a recipe for the disaster. You need to be on top of your numbers. It's not about a case of like checking in constantly, but it's about being aware, and what you focus on, you can manage, and what you focus on, you can control. Often revenue isn't the full picture of what's going on. You could have a very good revenue in your business, but if your gross profit isn't right, it doesn't matter how good your revenue is, because you're just not having that enough trickle down to you. Gross profit is my number one figure. There's really only three things when you need to look at revenue and sales data. It's average order value, frequency, how often people are coming in and actually ordering that, and number of transactions. Those three metrics are super important, because those are all three metrics that you can change. Don't just look at your revenue, look at those three things. A small increase in average order value will make a huge impact on your bottom line, way more than other things, which I don't think a lot of people really understand. The business owners that succeed are not the ones that are the most creative or ambitious. It's the ones that just quietly understand their numbers and are able to sit away and understand what is going on. I've come to realize that success in business isn't always about the idea. It's about adapting to reality. It's about being willing to embrace change, hard work, really hard work, and understanding your numbers. These three things alone are way more important than having a brilliant unicorn type idea. Running a small business really isn't about having the best idea. It's about learning how to make that idea work. If you are building and creating your own business, or just want to start your own business, I'm sharing stories like this every week. I hope you enjoy it. It's big love.